what's good, guys? It's your Greek Boy 7. And today, it's not a movie review. This is something a little bit different, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've just been busy for the last few weeks with school and work and all that, so I haven't been able to make this sooner. But finally have the time, and here it is. And this is something that's really personal for me, because it's something that has affected me for quite a while. And it bears this question in mind. Are animated films for kids? Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm turning 20 in just a few weeks, so I'm obviously not a kid. But I have been ridiculed plenty of times for watching these films over the years, for watching these types of films over the years. Whether it's my friends or even family, I have been made fun of for watching these movies. A movie that I'm going to be using a lot as an example in this video is Zootopia, since it is the most recent one that has come out. And the one that I believe proves my point. Now, what I mean by this is last week, I think, I was talking to some friends, and they knew that I went to go see a movie. They just didn't know what movie it was. And they asked me, what was it? And I told them, oh yeah, I saw Zootopia. It was really good. And they looked at me with kind of like a smirk on their face. And what they told me was something that I've obviously heard a lot over the years. And they said, isn't that movie for kids? And I wasn't sure how to answer at the time. I just laughed it off and kind of just shrugged it away. But it's something that sticks. It's something that has stuck with me for a while. And now I kind of want to just share with you guys my opinion or my side of how I believe that these films are not just for children. Now, before I get started, I know for a fact that there are plenty of animated films out there that are definitely catered more so towards children than they are towards adults. One example that comes to mind is The Minions that came out last year. That movie definitely will entertain children a lot more than it will adults. I saw it, I thought it was okay, but again, it wasn't anything crazy. Another movie that comes to mind is the recently released Norm of the North that came out a few months ago. Okay, first off, that movie was trash. I hope none of you guys saw that. And secondly, it's definitely something that adults are not going to like. It's just really boring, and it's something that only children are going to like. But what I'm saying is that these animated films, at least some of them, have really gotten better at trying to entertain more than just kids. They've gotten better at entertaining older audiences, teenagers, adults. You know what I mean? Zootopia is a prime example of that. This movie takes real-life human issues and puts it in this animal world. And that's one of the biggest turnoffs for a lot of people of this movie, that there's just animals here. A lot of people looked at the trailer and looked at these posters and all that kind of good stuff and just say, oh, it's a bunch of cute little animals. This is obviously a kid's movie. I mean, really? I mean, are we still judging things by how they look? Like, I thought you would think that at this day and age in 2016, we would have learned by now, we as people would have learned by now to not judge something by how it looks. But apparently that's still an issue going on today, and it sucks. If you are one of those people that do that look at these movies and say, oh, it's obviously a kid's movie, you guys have to check these out. You can't judge them by how they look. Otherwise, you're never going to know for sure. And otherwise, you're just saying things that really aren't true. This is something I guarantee. If Zootopia was real-life human beings, if the story and the characters, if they all stayed the same, but they were all real-life people, I can guarantee you that more people would go to this movie and see how incredible it is. And like I said, just changing the idea of them being animals to people. The story, the twists, the characters, all that stays the same, just how they look changes. If they were all people, I can guarantee you more people would watch this movie and see how great it is. But, unfortunately, that's not the case. These movies, especially nowadays, are being created to not just be viewed by kids. These movies are meant to be watched by everyone, for everyone to enjoy. I mean, hell, some of these animated movies have gotten nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. I mean, do you know how hard that is? That should be proof alone that these movies have gotten a lot better. Another thing that proves what I'm talking about is this website called Rotten Tomatoes. For those of you who don't know, Rotten Tomatoes is a film website that compiles all of these reviews for a particular movie and gives an average of two things. One, the average score out of 10, and two, the average percentage of whether a movie is considered fresh or is considered rotten. As of right now, Zootopia has about 153 reviews. 153, that's a lot. And out of those 153 reviews, only 2 of them were rotten. Which means that 99% of the critics that went to watch the movie actually liked it. Thus, it has a 99% fresh rating on the website. That is something that doesn't happen often. In fact, it's pretty rare. And also, keep in mind, these critics that are reviewing this movie are not children. These critics that are claiming that this movie is great and that they liked it aren't children. These are certified film critics, adults, and they went into the movie and they loved it. Shouldn't that be proof enough that these movies aren't just for kids? I mean, if these adults, if these critics are liking them, doesn't that mean maybe we can too? And by we, I mean, you know, the young adult teenager kind of age group thing. Listen, I know these kinds of movies are not for everyone, but all I'm saying is you should really look at these movies with an open mind, because some of them are really good. And if all of us continue to live and look at these movies like, oh, they're just for kids, then we're all just going to be missing out on some really great stuff. I was personally surprised with Zootopia. I saw the trailers and I wasn't even that impressed. Yeah, it was funny, but I wasn't sure what to expect. This movie surprised me. In fact, it's probably the most surprising movie of 2016 thus far. If any of you are watching and do believe that these movies are just for kids, you know, these animated films are just for kids, I beg you to check out Zootopia. Because who knows? Maybe you'll be surprised too. This is your Greek Boy 7, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.